for me, Conte's my favourite coach ever. No surprise, I prefer him to Allegri. I think that's obvious. But no, Conte's a top manager, man. I mean, what he did at Juventus, because that was where his managerial career started, where Juventus obviously had been relegated like half a decade ago, and they were finishing 12th place, 10th place, mid-table consistently. And this man came in. He revolutionized the club. He created a monster mentality. And the one thing a lot of people forget is in his 3 seasons, obviously he won the 3 league titles in a row. He also had the most points ever in the top 5 leagues with 102, I'm pretty sure. He also went invincible in his first season. And people forget that. People forget that. And I think that's an incredible achievement. Obviously, he built the dynasty that of the 9-year dominance. Then he went to manage the Italian national team. Actually, I want, because this is talking about arsonists, I want to talk about the way he left Juventus, because he didn't leave in a good way. He wanted specifically Quadrado at Juventus. I remember this, and Agnelli refused to buy him Quadrado. He didn't want to buy him Quadrado, and he wanted Sanchez as well. And he kind of threw his toys out the pram, and he left us just before the season started, and that kind of put us in a tough position. And we were lucky to get Allegri back then to come in, like, who was a good manager. So we were lucky in that regard. But then he went to the Italian national team, where, in my opinion, he worked miracles in that Euro 2016 squad. Our team was awful. We had like Giaccherini, we had Pele, we had Eder. I don't know if you lot remember that Euro 2016 Italian side, but it was dreadful. But he was just pulling out results. I mean, we lost to, we beat Belgium, we beat Spain. We lost
to Ireland.
Pens. Pardon?
Lost to Ireland.
Yeah, okay, but that doesn't matter. We beat the relevant teams. And so, yeah, then we were unfortunate. We lost on pens, I'm pretty sure. In the quarters, if I'm not mistaken. And then he went to Chelsea, won the league. First season in England, after Chelsea finished, mid-table the season before under Mourinho. Then he went to Inter Milan. He ended Juventus' 9-year dominance, created a really, really strong Inter team. One of the best counter-attacking sides I've ever seen in my life as well. That Inter team was frightening. But then, obviously, with Tottenham, he's not really done. He hasn't worked his magic in that sense. But because it's talking about an arsonist, this question, I do think Conte is arrogant. I think, but he has a right to be arrogant, I think, because he's won a lot and he's a top manager. But I do think if he doesn't get his way, he's out. And that's probably the one downside to Conte. I think I think he's a bit reactionary in some regard. Like with Inter, they were selling Lukaku, they were selling Hakimi and players like that, and he just headbutts a lot with the owners. And I think he always thinks he's right, and if he doesn't get his way, he's off. So I would agree with the question, but I do think he's a top manager.